Never save money. This advice came from my grandfather, and this is why I share it. In a small farming village, there lived an old man everyone called lazy. He did not work. He spent his days sitting under the shade of a large tree on an old chair, looking far away. He talked a lot about plans he never started. One day I will open a shop, he said. One day I will buy land and cows. I will make money without getting tired. That day never came. People stopped laughing at him. They only looked at him with pity. His wife sighed and said, "Life does not live on dreams. Life lives on work." He lifted his shoulders slightly and said, "Someday I will find a way." Years passed. Life became harder. One night, his grandson, barefoot and thin, asked softly, "Grandpa, is there bread?" The grandmother opened the cupboard. It was empty. The old man looked at the floor. His throat felt tight. Dreams could not be eaten. Ideas could not fill his stomach. That night, he did not sleep. The next morning, with shame in his heart, he went to work in the fields as a day worker. The work was cruel. The sun burned his skin. His back bent lower each day. His hands became sore and painful. Sweat ran into his eyes. In the middle of the field, he whispered, "This feels like a chain." At night, he came home tired and silent. The grandmother served beans and 2 tortillas. Nevermore. The boy hugged him and asked, "What did they give you today, Grandpa?" The old man looked at his pay and said, "It is little, but it is something." But the money did not stay. Debts took it, medicine took it, food took it. A few coins were left on the table. Week after week the pay came and went. The roof still leaked. Hunger stayed. One afternoon at the village store, he heard men talking loudly. "The secret is saving. If you save, you are safe." Those words stayed in his head. That night, he found a large glass jar and hid it under the bed. Each week after buying only what was needed, he dropped coins inside. The sound made him smile. It felt like hope. One day, the grandson found the jar. "What is this, Grandpa?" "Our tomorrow," the old man said proudly. But saving was hard. He did not buy new shoes, even when his old ones broke. Food became less and less. They ate slowly. The plates were never full. One day, the grandmother could not stay quiet. "What good is saving if we stay hungry?" He did not look up. "Someday you will understand." Months passed. The jar filled. To the old man, it looked like safety. One morning they went to the market. He placed the money on the table. "I want 3 sacks of corn." The seller counted and shook his head. "Prices went up. This buys 1 sack and half." The old man froze. "Money loses value," the seller said simply. On the walk home, the jar felt heavy. That night, the old man poured the money on the table and counted again and again. It never grew. The boy asked quietly, "So what is the use of saving, Grandpa?" The old man had no answer. Days became dark. He grew weaker. Food was not enough. Sometimes he felt there was no way forward. One morning, sitting on the porch, he saw neighbors pass by. One carried eggs, another carried bottles of milk. They walked calmly. They did not look afraid. Then he remembered the boy's words from long ago. "What if we buy chickens?" This time he listened. He took the last of the money and bought a few thin chickens. When he let them loose, the boy laughed and ran after them. "Now we have an egg factory." At first, they found 1 or 2 eggs a day. They ate some. They sold some. With that money, they bought another chicken. The old man wrote everything in a small notebook. Each egg mattered. Soon the yard was full of noise. Neighbors came to buy eggs. For the first time, the work felt good. One afternoon, the old man held an egg and said to the boy, "This is worth more than a jar of money. It feeds us. It grows. It does not lose value." The boy hugged him. "So you are not lazy anymore." The old man smiled with wet eyes. "No, my child. I finally learned." The jar stayed forgotten under the bed. When people talked about saving money, the old man pointed to the chickens and said, "Saving money is like holding water in your hands. It always slips away. Make it work, even if you start small. And that is how the man once called lazy learned the greatest truth of his life. Never save money. Make it grow. Once upon a time there lived a man in a small village. He was very worried about his son. His son was lazy and careless. He never worked. He just wandered here and there in the village all day long. One day, the man decided to teach his son a lesson. He called his son to him. He said gently, "Son, there is a watch kept inside the cupboard. Bring it to me." The boy went and opened the cupboard. He took out the watch and came back to his father. The father looked at the watch and then said, "Now take this watch to the market. Ask everyone you meet how much they think it is worth." The boy nodded and went to the market with the watch. He showed the watch to different people. One man said it was worth 500 rupees. Another said 1,000. Someone else said 800. Everyone gave a different price. Some people even gave the same price, but no one agreed completely. The boy came back home and said, "Father, everyone told me a different price for the watch. Some said 500, some said 800, and some said 1,000. The man smiled and said, "All right, put the watch back in the cupboard." The next day, the man called his son again. He asked him to bring the same watch. The boy brought it and gave it to his father. Then the father said, "Now go to the market again. This time, don't ask the price of the watch. Ask people the price of the time inside this watch." The boy was confused. He didn't understand what his father really meant. Still, he obeyed and went to the market again. He asked the people he met, "How much is the time inside this watch worth?" People looked at him strangely. Some laughed at him. Some told him to go away. Some said, "What a foolish question." The boy felt embarrassed and sad. Finally, he stopped at a small shop where an old man was working. The old shopkeeper was busy repairing watches. When the boy asked him the same question, the old man paused his work. He looked at the boy with a kind smile. He understood what the boy was trying to ask. He said softly, "Son, you cannot put a price on time. You can give millions of rupees, but you cannot buy back even 1 second of your life. That is why you must use your time wisely." The boy listened carefully. The old man continued, "Time has one bad thing and one good thing. The bad thing is it passes. The good thing is you can choose how to spend it. Everyone in this world has 24 hours in a day, the rich and the poor both. The difference is how they use those hours." The boy's eyes filled with understanding. Something changed inside him. He thanked the old man and went home quickly. He told his father everything that had happened in the market. The man smiled with pride and placed his hand on his son's shoulder. From that day on, the boy's life changed completely. He started working hard. He began using his time wisely. He stopped wasting his days wandering around. He understood the real value of every moment. Friends, time is free for everyone, but it is priceless. You cannot buy it, but you can use it. You cannot keep it, but you can spend it. Once it is gone, you can never get it back. So use your time wisely. Once upon a time, a small ant was carrying a big piece of bread on her back, slowly walking toward her home through the forest path. Not far away, a cheerful green grasshopper was hopping lazily from one leaf to another, humming to himself and enjoying the breeze. When he noticed the ant down below, curious, he bounced down to the ground beside her and said, "I see you every day, always working. Sometimes you are gathering grains, sometimes building your little home. And now, look at you, carrying that heavy piece of bread." He stretched out on a rock and chuckled. "Is this how your whole life is going to be? I have never seen you relax, never seen you have fun. Life is meant to be enjoyed, you know. Why work so hard all the time?" The ant paused, gently placed the bread down for a moment and replied calmly, "I am collecting food for the rainy season and the winter. I am making my home strong now, so that later I won't have to suffer. Just 4 months of hard work, and I will live peacefully for the next 8 months. The grasshopper laughed, flipping a blade of grass in the air like a toy. Who knows what tomorrow will bring? What if you are not even alive by then? Why think so far ahead? Live in the moment. That's what I do. The ant said nothing more. She picked up the bread again and quietly walked away. The next 4 months passed. The ant worked every single day, gathering food, strengthening her home, and preparing for the future. And then the rains came. Thunder roared. Water poured down from the sky. But the ant was safe. She sat inside her warm, dry home surrounded by everything she had prepared. Comfortable, peaceful, ready for the season ahead. But the grasshopper, he had nowhere to go. The leaves he once played on were soaked. The ground was muddy. He couldn't hop far, and the cold wind made him shiver. He had no food, no shelter, nowhere dry to rest. Tired, wet, and hungry, he finally made his way to the ant's home. The ant opened the door and welcomed him in with kindness. When he arrived, he was stunned. The ant's home was strong. Inside, everything was dry. Jars of food were neatly stacked. It was warm and safe. The grasshopper looked around in silence, his head low, ashamed.